Everything I'm about to tell you happened the first time I kissed her lips. It internally flipped the switch, which clicked on my emotions and gave me an emotional high so high-waisted would be an understatement. Understating that each sensual statement of affection would print out an impression for the ways I connected my heart, no output but she. It was her that inputted a piece of her into me, and we became walking databases, but based off of biased emotions built out of fake love. Or well, at least to what I thought love was. Or wasn't, but that which was is done, and what is over. You could say she cooked me very well because I was well overdone, but she made me look over easy, yet it was harder to admit that in times like this, it was easier to say yes to sex than no to slavery. I said yes to short pleasures than no to long-lasting pain, while simultaneously smashing away my spiritual incompetence. We both became categorized unconscious Christians while consciously undercover operatives for the devil. And in the lapse of a moment, I slept with every covenant and confession that I made with God. I lied. By the one I loved, as I lied to the one who loved me. My life became a walking black lie that slipped under sheets as orchestrated demons speak their silky smooth lies in my ear when I heard them, and then justified myself with this question. Is it really a lie if you're lying in bed? Thoughts ran through my head, thoughts ran through my fled. Thoughts would give life, but these sins lead to death, and I knew it, but yet still I chose to do it. And while fornicating with freedom, I found no satisfaction in my sinful nature, yet it clothed me, and thus I wore sin like a flannel with stitched in grace. Such a heterogeneous mixture that God created to preserve my inner man. Who'd have thought that he mixed my sin with his grace to create such a savory taste of salvation in my mouth? So he practically spoon-fed me a way of escape. That's 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. But as my flesh began to scheme, my emotions got the best of me, and shortly after my emotions began to run this show, and shortly after that the curtains pulled over, my dead life began to show. A kiss with lips that tenderly tampered against the four chambers of my heart. But this is not how I imagined my story would play out. But in the midst of pain and heartbreak, I heard someone say, go back to the place where you first left the Father. He'll be there waiting to edit your book like an author. And then it hit me. The first time I gave my life to sin was the same night I gave my life to him, not knowing that I betrayed the Father with a kiss. You see, I became my own Judas. My own sin made me useless. But like Job's life altered by grace, my fleshly man, new script was rewritten, and this cast of sin was forgiven and casted farther and farther away until freedom became my condition. You see, God sent his starring son to die for my sinful acts so that one day I may become a spiritual activist. He took my guilt and he gave me gladness. He took my pain and he gave me pleasures. And for all the gifts that I lost along the way, well, let's just say he gave me new treasures. You see, God sent his son to die for my purchase. He bought my life, and he didn't sell me a new one. He bought my life, and he gave me a brand new one.